Hey guys, Troy here, back with another video today. Today isn't really going to be picks, it's going to be more of a news related, and we are going to be talking about the fact that PSA, a company that most would consider the premier grading company in the world, has just raised prices again for the second time in about 3 or 4 months. I'm going to try to find the actual chart of the prices, so hopefully I'll be able to put it here or somewhere on the screen. But I'll share the prices with you right now, just saying them, because that's the kind of shoddy production we run here. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about regular PSA submissions, just what you can do through the website. They have eliminated the regular economy submission, the $20 option for 45 days. That has been suspended. They lowered the minimum for bulk card submissions, but ultra modern is going to be $15 for bulk submissions now. And besides that, which takes almost a year at this point to get back, your cheapest option, just going direct through PSA, is $50. Now, if you go through card submission groups like I use, which are, like PSA certified submitters, 20-day has gone from $20 up to $25, and bulk for ultra modern has gone from $13 to $16. So quickly, those are the price changes. But more importantly, what I want to talk about, and I'm sure what you guys are actually interested in, is how does this affect us as people who are submitting cards to PSA potentially, and the market in general. Unfortunately, I have to put opinion disclaimers on everything I say. This is just my opinion. I do not have a magic crystal ball here. I wish I did. But this is just my prediction for what I see happening in response to PSA. Now, the first thing is people are definitely going to start looking to BGS and SGC more. I haven't personally submitted to BGS, but just from what I've been seeing and reading, their turnaround times are just as bad as PSA, if not worse right now. And SGC is also struggling with their turnaround times. It's definitely cheaper than PSA, but from the reveals and everything I've been seeing, they actually seem to be harsher with their grades than the other two companies. But even then, I think you'll start seeing people submit and look at these companies more and more. And there's potential for SGC to really have themselves a moment and establish themselves as a real third equal competitor to PSA and BGS. PSA also said they're gonna look to eliminate pretty soon estimated turnaround times and put completion through dates. And to be honest, I'm not really sure exactly what that means, but I was hoping they could just give us accurate turnaround times and honor what they've actually promised. But for a lot of people, turnaround times are going to end up being a lot longer because now the price has gotten so high, even if you are going through one of these submission groups, you're paying $25 for the 20-day. So I see a lot of people, including myself, just sticking to the $16 for 45-day, and those cards take a long while to get back. And those are people in these card groups, I would honestly say, in comparison to the entire card market, is actually probably a pretty small percentage. For people who are just direct through PSA, $50 is their cheapest expedited option. And for that to make sense at all, you have to be looking at least maybe like a $200, $300 card just raw. So I honestly think this is going to work, and you are going to stop seeing these $5, $10, $15 cards getting sent so often to PSA. So for something like Cam Reddish Prism Base that's graded, there might not end up being that many of these at the beginning of next season because of what's happening at PSA right now. So I've kind of just been rambling along here saying random things. Let me give you now my main takeaways as an investor in sports cards. My first takeaway is Foresight is going to be more important than ever. 20-day PSA submissions right now are taking up to like 3 months. And that's if you're willing to drop $25 a card, which at this point, I'm not sure I really am unless it's a pretty expensive card. So if you're submitting a card like I've talked about, Trae Young Optic Base, $25, $30 card, you pretty much have to go 45-day. And that turnaround time could be something more like 5, maybe even 6 months if you're unlucky. So if you guys are thinking about getting these cheaper cards graded or investing in cheaper players to get their cards graded, you really have to be looking far ahead. Because like me, I sent a bunch of Tyler Hero cards out for 45 day at the beginning of July, and most of them have not come back yet. I think it'll work out for me in the long term. I really believe in Hero, but it's possible I really missed a moment in the playoffs to sell a lot of those. Foresight is really important, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because your cards are going to be taking a long time to come back. Let's say you have a ton of Foresight on someone like Jarrett Culver to have a big season next year. If you're submitting those cards right now and he has a big moment in January, you might be one of the few people with his graded cards readily available. And if people see that and scramble in January to submit all their Jarrett Culver cards, they might not end up getting those back until the season is already over. So if you can see ahead and grade early on these players, you could be at a huge advantage. But once again, you really have to be looking far, far ahead now if you want to be grading cards at any kind of a reasonable price point. I guess my second point is kind of similar / the same thing. I see there being even a greater importance on graded cards, especially things that people have kind of written off in the past, like PSA 9s. I've seen people saying in like forums and stuff that graded cards are actually going to go down because people are going to become distrustful of PSA and they're going to boycott them or something like that. And that could happen. I personally do not see it happening. I just think that now, even something like a PSA 9 is going to cost a lot of people a minimum of $25 just to even grade, not to mention the crazy time commitment it takes. I think PSA 9s could potentially see an increase in value and are just going to become a more important thing overall. So overall, guys, there's still plenty of opportunity to be had. I think you should still be grading cards, and I didn't really do it anyways, but the only change I might make is really trying my best to not grade these low dollar cards. But in general, you just have to move smarter and further in advance now if you're going to be looking to grade cards for a profit. And once again, this is just my opinion. I know I don't have a crystal ball, but even other people who have been in the hobby longer than me, they don't either. So it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen. I think the times we're in right now are really unprecedented, but it's still useful to talk through and to think about for how we're going to strategize in the future. All right, guys, that's it for the video today. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe below. Gonna keep them coming. Thanks again.